The antique phone. The old phone was ringing. Not a modern ringtone, but a shrill, mechanical buzz that seemed to vibrate through the dusty antique store. Sarah picked it up, intrigued. It was a rotary phone, heavy and black, sitting alone on a shelf tucked away in a dimly lit corner. No one else was around. Hesitantly, she lifted the receiver. The buzzing stopped, replaced by static, then a faint whisper. At first, she thought it was just the store's old wiring. "Hello?" she said, her voice barely above a whisper. The whisper responded, closer now, clearer. It was a child's voice, but distorted, like it was speaking through water. "She's watching you," it rasped. Sarah shivered, a prickle of unease crawling up her spine. "Who is?" she asked, her heart starting to pound. Silence. Then, the voice again, even closer, as if right in her ear. "Behind you." Sarah spun around, knocking over a stack of porcelain dolls. Empty shelves stared back. Just dust motes dancing in the weak sunlight filtering through the grimy window. She laughed nervously, telling herself it was her imagination, the spooky atmosphere of the store playing tricks on her. But as she turned back to the phone, the buzzing started again, louder this time, insistent. She went to hang up the receiver, but it felt stuck, cold and clammy in her hand. The buzzing intensified, morphing into a high-pitched whine that made her teeth ache. Suddenly, the voice screamed, a sound that ripped through the quiet store, shattering the air. "She's right behind you." Sarah screamed too, dropping the phone with a clatter. She stumbled back, her eyes darting frantically around the store. Nothing. Just shadows and silence. She could feel her breath catching in her throat, the hair on her arms standing on end. Taking a shaky breath, she bent to pick up the phone, to put it back on the shelf and leave this creepy place. But it was gone. The shelf was empty. And as she straightened up, she saw it, reflected in the dusty mirror across the aisle. Standing directly behind her, impossibly close, was a figure. Tall and gaunt, shrouded in shadow, with eyes that burned like embers in the gloom. And it was smiling. Sarah didn't scream this time. She couldn't. She could only stare, frozen in terror, as the figure reached out a long, skeletal hand. The last thing she heard, before everything went black, was the faint, distorted whisper, right in her ear. "Got you."